Hi, here with the Stock Market Live.tv.
All aboard!
Today we have new all-time highs in shares of Tesla, but today it is different compared to the others. Today, for the first time ever, Tesla became the #1 car company in America. In terms of market cap, not in terms of sales or profits, or the number of employees, that does not matter, and the truth can be always seen live on the tape. But today everyone is talking about Tesla for the wrong reasons. They should be talking about Goldman Sachs and the leading investment firms, so they claim, with huge marketing and sales departments, that they had sell ratings in Tesla for years. As an example, Goldman Sachs started with a neutral rating and a price target in Tesla, $21 in 2010. Well, these companies are paid, I suppose, to have visions, to advise an investor for the long term. So in 2010, an investment firm who tells you that Tesla is worth $21 with a neutral rating, you have, well, as of today, they continue with a sell rating in Tesla and share price in Tesla, which by the way has been closing at new all-time highs every single day. It is today trading at $312.38 live on the tape. And the tape tells you always the truth. It is not your belief or mine, is the tape. And the tape, you have to obey to the tape. And if you don't want to obey to the tape, and if you want to invest with these leading American investment firms, the outcome, it is always the same. You are going bankrupt. In fact, you are bankrupt, and the proof can be always seen live on the tape. So instead of, reading the articles on Reuters, on CNBC about Tesla going down to zero and all this crap that you have been reading about, well, you should have referred to free and credible sources, 30 years here in a row, continuously, not talking about only Tesla, but every single company listed on New York Stock Exchange and Nasdaq, not only stocks, as well as ETFs, gold, oil, and forex markets. And you have to refer to this free article. Yes, posted in real time on the blog of the company with a very explicit title. Tesla short sellers, be prepared to lose money. Win a dream house here. So if you refer to today Tesla chart, you are going, and share price, you are going to conclude that short sellers, they lost $3 billion plus selling short Tesla shares. What else did you expect? A miracle that Tesla was going to crash? When I said that Tesla was a strong buy? Well, quite frankly, my friends, yeah, you certainly don't know who I am, right? But just to be more clear, you have here other article. By the way, you have also here articles explaining how to invest in Tesla, right? As well as in Mobileye and many other companies. And buyouts. Private investor put final nail in the coffin to Goldman Sachs, sell Tesla. Well, Tesla, that the time that article was trading at $291. You have it here since I remember everything, and I'm going to tell you why do I remember everything. I learned this a long time ago, in fact, I learned about investing and trading not with Goldman Sachs or with any investor. I learned with credible people like, for example, Mark Twain. Those who tell the truth don't have to remember anything, right? I do remember, and the internet as well, that Goldman Sachs downgraded Tesla with a price target $21, and they had sell ratings in Tesla throughout the years. So you have to refer to this live stock tweet by 2 million shares of Tesla at a stock market bottom coincident with the Goldman Sachs downgrade. So if you are losing money as a subscriber, a customer of these investment firms, well, it does not constitute a surprise whatsoever, since, my friends, you deserve entirely your losses, more than $3 billion. So I'm not going to tell you how much we are making in Tesla. It does not concern you, but certainly does concern. And I congratulate and appreciate the feedback of everyone else that has been following my personal guidance in the markets. And I strongly suggest that you go through the live blog of the company, reading the articles, because I'm not referring only to Tesla or Amazon and many others. They are all there. It's not only Tesla. People today, they compare as they did 2 months ago, 3 months ago, last year, Tesla to General Motors, blah, blah. These articles, they've been there, out there for years. The content of these articles on Seeking Alpha, on these magazines and, websites, Morningstar, Business Insider, they are all useless. The fact is that no one told you that Tesla could get to these prices except myself. And in 2017, not in 2018, 2019 or 2020, in 2017. And I can prove it, unlike others. So I made the call. And by the way, even those that they are bullish, Tesla, they've been wrong about it. Yeah, because they've been bullish for years. And Tesla, before it got to these prices, it collapsed. You have to remember, last year Tesla collapsed all the way down to $142. And there you had the downgrades by Wall Street once again. So when they tell you to
sell, sell, sell,
what you are doing is
buy, buy, buy,
and when they tell you to
buy, buy, buy,
what you are doing,
sell, sell, sell,
because it works all the time. 30 years in a row, there is no magic formula. The only thing that you have to do is precisely the opposite of all these investment firms, since the only thing that they invented so far, certainly not the wheel, was how to deceive or to create fraud. This is all about scams and frauds that these investment firms, they invent precisely to deceive investors, and we are there to take advantage of it by assuming contrarian positions, including Nobel laureates as Robert Shiller, one who has been addressed in the blog of the company at least for 4 years in a row. He has been bearish the US stock market, his own country, for several years, and he has thousands of followers. Goldman Sachs the same, probably 1 million followers. How much have you made? But my friends, it's not about Tesla. I repeat, I'm not about Tesla. Goldman Sachs last year told you to sell shares of Caterpillar at precisely the bottom. In 2017, they have a strong buy rating in shares of Caterpillar, $120 price target. Well, you sold your shares pretty cheap to someone. Well, it happens that we were upgrading shares of Caterpillar precisely on that same day or same week to strong buy. You understand how this works? It's pretty simple. But it does not end here. You also bought shares of First Solar at $72 on Goldman Sachs upgrade to conviction buying list, $100 price target. Today you can buy shares of First Solar at $28. Why? Because everyone else was selling short First Solar, a bubble stock, above $70. And again, you had this information complementary in real time on the blog of the company. So how much are you making as a customer of Goldman Sachs or these leading investment firms? And the answer is, well, you lost entirely your account, short sellers $3.2 billion at least, and this is a mathematical fact. If you have questions, Google it, call NASDAQ to change the share price. Maybe tomorrow it will be different, certainly. It does not close at the same price every single day. But the most important is that this is history, and we create history compared to others who make useless predictions. Nobel laureates, Goldman Sachs, the JP Morgans, all this crap. Piper Jaffray today, for example, pre-market, Piper Jaffray came out with an upgrade to strong buy, outperform in shares of Tesla, $368. But Piper Jaffray is a company, for your information, who has been wrong about Tesla since the very beginning, with neutral ratings. So when shares above $300, Piper Jaffray finally comes out and say, we finally saw the light, now Tesla is worth $368. And this is the typical spirit American. This is why you are paying these American investment firms millions of dollars to be deceived and defrauded. That is entirely your concern. Thank you very much and congratulations. Bye.